introductions. Yeah, basically the session is called Public Control over AI, a Public AI Register. And my name is Meeri Haataja. I'm CEO and founder of Saidots. We have had such an honor to work with both Amsterdam and Helsinki cities on developing their AI registers, which were launched yesterday, and there was like nice discussion yesterday already, and in the previous session around these themes as well. So in this session, we would like to be really hands-on, look into those AI registers, discuss about the rationale behind those, and really eager to hear your feedback as well and thoughts around those. Before starting, I'd like to introduce Pasi, or actually ask Pasi to introduce herself. So Pasi, a few words about yourself.
So good morning, everybody. So my name is Pasi Rautio, and I work for the city of Helsinki, and I coordinate the AI development in city of Helsinki, and then we have made this AI register with Saidots and with Amsterdam, and very glad to this cooperation.
Okay, perfect. And before we get started, please be active in this session. So feel free to use the chat over here, and Pasi will try to keep his eye on the discussion and comments, and also you're free to share your video and ask or share video and audio and ask questions face to face with us. So this is most importantly a discussion between the whole group, and let's try to learn something new together in this session. So before diving in, let's look at this video. Some of you might have seen this from yesterday.
Introducing the world's first artificial intelligence register. Algorithms and artificial intelligence have become an integral part of our lives. Governments use these tools to improve the accessibility and experience of their services and our public spaces. However, that means that citizens need to understand how algorithms work and how they affect their daily lives. That's why we have developed the Algorithm and AI Register. The register gives citizens the transparency they deserve. You can learn why and how algorithms are being used and who is affected, or dive into what data is being used, how it's processed, how discrimination is prevented, the degree of human oversight, and how risks are handled. Help us improve the register and make it the standard for transparency in algorithms and artificial intelligence.
All right. So yeah, I think that was a really nice way to let me see. Are you still there? Pasi,
yes, we are.
Yeah, yes. Very good. Yeah. So really nice. That was a really nice way to visualize this like super complex things, and well done with the Amsterdam creative agency who did that one. So let's get started on this one, and here are the few topics that we wanted to discuss today with you. First, like a little bit about the background or reasons why cities of Helsinki and Amsterdam have started or taken this path and basically done a big work on launching the first versions of the AI registers, and we will hear Pasi's and Helsinki's points of views on that one. Then we will have a hands-on look into how it works in practice. from different user groups' perspectives, and then let's have a discussion in the end on the implications of it. So these are the themes, and I need to make sure that there is no timeout on my session. But let's start first of all with on the question why this is happening, why this effort, and why Helsinki has namely put this effort on building their AI registers. So let's hear what Mikko Rusama, CDO of Helsinki, is saying about this one.
Without trust, there is no use for AI. Finland is a trust-based society. According to many surveys, Finns have exceptionally high trust towards media, police, and city officials. So what is our secret? Being fully transparent and open in all actions and decision-making. For example, our tax records are publicly available. Also, all procurements and decisions made by the city are public and made available for the citizens. We also try to engage citizens in planning and decision-making and collaborate and co-create with them. For example, in the participatory budgeting, residents can suggest improvements important to them. So what about AI? I'm extremely happy to have close collaboration with the city of Amsterdam and Saidots. I signed a collaboration agreement with the Deputy Mayor Meliani last November. Our goal is to ensure transparent use of AI, and now I'm happy to tell that our collaboration is materializing in a form of AI registry. Going back to the opening statement, without trust there is no use for AI. Our plan is first to formally describe algorithms using a metadata model. Secondly, we open up algorithms for the public to review in the new AI registry. We hope that by being open and transparent, we are able to identify potential bias and unfair aspects in the use of algorithms and algorithmic decision-making, and based on that, make corrections. This is an important and crucial journey. I believe we need to work iteratively and incrementally so that we can gradually improve our ability to ethically use AI for the benefit of our people. Together with City of Amsterdam and partners, we want to work towards human-centered internet and foster trust and transparency in all actions, including AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikko. Very good.
Without trust, there is
once is enough. So that was a really good start for the discussion. Mikko talked about a lot about openness, transparency, and also collaboration, participation with the citizens in order to improve continuously. So before we continue on that, let's hear what do you think about this. And like Pasi posted this question that we wanted to really hear from you. What kind of feelings and emotions, thoughts you have when you think about governance and local governments' use of AI? And if anyone wants to share openly with us, like really happy to hear thoughts on that one, because that's the ground on what we are building. So it's important to understand what's the status. Feel free to put down your thoughts and feelings, emotions regarding these ones. If you feel comfortable, we can continue from, or I could basically ask Pasi from you a little bit, building on what Mikko raised as a target for Helsinki to build this means for openly communicate about how you are using AI. Pasi, you are basically looking after the whole portfolio of AI within the city of Helsinki. Could you elaborate a little bit the underlying motivations for AI registers, especially from the operational perspective? Having this kind of huge target to be transparent in a city context regarding AI, how does it look from the operational perspective to put it in place?
Thanks, Mary. Well, because the city of Helsinki is quite large organization, we have almost 40,000 people working for the city, and we have 4 big divisions. We have an education division, so we have also teachers and kindergartens in our organization as well. We have healthcare division, so we have doctors and hospitals and everything. And then also we have urban planning division, and then we have culture and leisure. So we have large scale of services for citizens, and it's very hard to know what kind of services we provide to the citizens and what kind of systems we are using to provide those services. And this is very important issue because we want to be seen as one city. So the citizens doesn't have to understand which kind of a division he's discussing with. It's always the city he's discussing with. And that's why he had to have overall overview to the services, and also we have to understand the systems and also the AI systems, how we are providing those services. And that's why we really need that kind of register where we can get all the information for us ourselves and also for the citizens. So citizens could easily understand what kind of services we provide where we use AI and how we are using the AI, and also what kind of data we are using. And because we do the register, it's easy to put all this information in the same way, so citizens could understand that very easily, and also we could gather the most important information in the same place, so it's manageable, the whole thing. And this is just like Mikko said, this is one point of maintaining the trust, so we can actually be that maintain the trust in operational level as well, not just strategic level. And it's very hard to keep track because we have almost 1,000 IT systems, and also we have 1,000 vendors. So we have to have the same kind of information very early gathered. And because we are in the starting point when we are starting to use AI, there's just few projects going on. So it's now very easy to gather that information in the same way from the beginning. And that's why it's very important thing to have it, the metadata model and the AI register in production. I think we have many kinds of customers also for the register. As I said, the employees and the organization itself, but also the citizens, and there are lots of different kind of groups that needs the information. There's already known the citizens itself, but they can be very they might be some grandmas who can't understand a bit about IT, and also there might be some people who understand about AI and IT systems, and also there's newspapers and everything who want to know more about how city is working, and those are the groups we want to do the AI register.
Pasi, there was one question in the chat regarding the question. Marianne is asking, what does correct data mean in regard to Helsinki's AI system? Do you want to comment that?
Correct data. Well, it's I'm quite not sure what you're referring to, but we have to have the right data, because in the future we want to use AI in decision making. So we want to do automated decision making as well, and we have to have correct data there. It can't be bad quality data, and also we have to know what data the decision is based on, and that's why I see that is correct data in this aspect.
Okay, thanks, Pasi. Maybe Marianne can elaborate the question if we didn't get it fully right. But yeah. Okay, so there are many user groups for the register. I think it's like this is one super important thing to recognize, that we have the internal challenge. Like these are very large organizations having so many different teams working on different kinds of AI applications. There are also a lot of different vendors. If you look at Helsinki AI Register and the applications there, we have like 5 systems, and there are 5 different vendors having developed those. So that's one angle, how to synchronize, have a systematic perspective into describing how the systems work and have been developed across the portfolio. And then we have the different external user groups, citizens and other interested parties over there. So it's actually a pretty complex question to start solving. Let's look at the chat. How did you make sure? Yeah, in developing the register, how did you work to make sure it was understandable by all those different audiences you mentioned? Did you prioritize some audiences over others? Has there been testing with the public? Maybe I can briefly comment on that one. This has been actually a process that we have been doing in different levels for almost a couple of years with different public authorities, with Helsinki and Amsterdam on this project almost a year, I would say. And during that process, we have been actually consulting a lot of different user groups. And this is only a start for the process still. So I need to highlight that whatever you are seeing in the registers right now, it's the first version, and we are really looking forward for feedback for understanding how does it fit to these different user groups needs regarding these systems. But we were actually, when developing these public-facing registers or the websites where you can access this information, we have been thinking about 3 different user groups, and the first one is are the technical experts who have like a lot of understanding about these systems. They may be working with similar systems in other places, and for their work they are having a lot of interest on these ones. Then and there are like specific needs with that group, and specific to this group is that they have very deep level technical expertise on these ones. Then we have the second group, which are also like very interested about these systems. They may not have that deep technical understanding or background, but they might have some other angles like social science expertise or expertise on the different domains of where we apply these systems and so forth. There are also media representatives, civil society activists and organizations. There is academia and big group of different parties. Probably in this conference and this session is also a lot of those people represented. And then we have had the last out of those 3 groups in mind, who are regular citizens who are interacting with these algorithmic systems. They might not have at all or have very little interest towards like diving deep into how these systems work, but they are actually the impacted people, and that's one group as well. So what you see now is that we have tried to balance the information needs and the sort of how to present the information for these different groups. Our main focus have been in the second group of these. So not the most technical experts, but the people who want to really understand a little bit deeper how it works and have enough information on that one. But that's a really good question, and that's a very difficult one as well. So that's the reason why we really want to look forward to get a lot of feedback and understanding how does it fit to your and these different user groups' needs regarding what you want to know about these systems. I hope it answered, Jenny, to your question.
I think we could now start showing.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, like, yeah, I forgot to mention that, like, yes, we have been testing it also while designing the different aspects of this one. So that's important. So we will now have a look at three different perspectives. And now what I'm sharing, I have a promise or like permission from Pasi to show how does it look from the Helsinki city of Helsinki point of view. And first let's have a look from the civilian or like the employees of city of Helsinki, the people who are actually using or putting down the information, documenting and governing their AI projects, and like how does it look for them. So this is something for which we have or Saidot has been building a platform or with the UI that you are now seeing, and the idea is that with this UI and this tool, we want to make it as easy as possible to govern and document, communicate AI in a systematic manner across the whole portfolio. So what you will see, what you see here right now is basically all the green ones are this Helsinki systems that are visible at the public-facing AI register, and to show a little bit different important aspects of this perspective and the tool. I will focus now on parking chatbot, which is one live service provided or used by City of Helsinki. So what you see up here is basically the key sections of our metadata model that we have been developing and testing and developing, iterating for this area, and that basically is a structure for all the information that we need for good governance of AI systems.
We can't see the screen you are showing.
Oh dear. Okay, good. Good that you. Good that you mentioned. I'm sorry, this is a little bit messy to have so many different screens. Can you see it right now?
Yes, now, yes.
All right. So this is the overview, and basically we have been thinking about the roles and persons like Pasi working in this kind of role, managing a large portfolio of different kinds of applications. So what you see here are all the systems that we have so far registered in the platform in different language versions, like 3 languages basically for Helsinki. And the idea is that Pasi and the similar people working in similar roles, managing the whole portfolio of AI systems and governing their own area, they have one single view into all of those systems and the same information across all of their systems. The green ones here are live at the basically public facing site, and now I'm diving into this parking chatbot, and let's look at the English version of this one here. So up here you can see this key sections, what are basically the key domains of information in the governance model that we have put together into the form of metadata model for AI transparency. So that is, you can think of it like even from a process perspective, that for any given AI project, when you start to develop, you need to make sure that before you get it out to production, you need to think about all of these different aspects, and also like do the effort of agreeing things and documenting things in a right way. And really the target here is to make things like systematic and as easy as possible to follow, also for all the different teams and people who are doing this one. So one example about like how we actually through guiding teams through these different sections of information, we are also influencing how the teams are working and like how is it actually governed there. One example is the accountability section. Accountability is one of the really important principles of ethical and responsible AI. That's also something where the practices currently are often not that clear. So how we are addressing this one through the platform and sort of nudging towards a responsible way of addressing this is that every system needs to have this information regarding the contact information that is visible to anyone on the site. So like everyone needs to know who is the responsible organization and the department for this one, and how can I contact this team and these accountable persons about this system. That's what you will see on the public facing sites, but that's not everything. There are other aspects that we need to know as well internally within the city team. So not only we ask teams to have the contact details, we also need to have the responsible manager or service owner or business owner role for this system. It's really important to also identify the technical owner for the system. In some cases, that might be even outside the organization itself with the vendor, but that's a totally different role compared to the previous ones. Other aspects we are having here, or like see important as part of this accountability, is the possible external auditors, and then all the external vendors who have been part of creating this one. And why we are having this empty now is that I basically cleaned up all the personal data that is not public at the moment over there, just for the demoing purposes. But the key is that city teams need to have all this information in place for having the right information over there. Another aspect, data sets, that's really something that we have recognized that is absolutely necessary step to like be very clear regarding what are all the data sets that have been used over there, how to describe the data processing or model or algorithm. That's one really important aspect, non-discrimination, human oversight, risks, and then a lot of different references that are related to good governance of this system. So basically, it's a set of forms that help the city AI teams to capture and document all the right information in a similar way across these different systems. Any questions on this one? Does the register cover also so-called high-risk algorithms, public safety, security area, or algorithms to detect fraud? I would say that if you look at the Amsterdam register, the public register, there is one fraud algorithm actually over there. So my answer to that is that absolutely, like especially when we are talking about high risk applications, the more we have pressure to be very good in AI governance, and this is definitely about to support those ones. In the Helsinki case, we have a couple health sector or health domain applications. I think those are not high risk applications, but nevertheless they are from the area or like domain which is typically considered more high risk than maybe some others. So the answer, the more high risk, the more pressure you actually have to have all the right information in place for your system.
And we don't actually show the algorithm in the register. We just kind of show how the principles, how it works, and what kind of data it uses. So that's why it's possible to show that we are using AI in these cases, but we don't actually show how it is used.
And then let's go. And if you have any question regarding the AI team's views, like feel free to still ask questions and contact me on that one as well. Really, the target of this one is to make it as easy as possible and systematic across the teams. How it looks for the end users. So this is what you will see through the public websites, and for Helsinki it's ai.hel.fi. We have the different language versions. In Finland we have two official languages, Finnish and Swedish, and then we have additionally English, and let's look at the English version right now. So simple as that, it's a gallery of all these systems that cities have in the underlying register and which they have decided to make public, which are sort of like ready for publishing. And as you can see, here is the parking chatbot that we looked from the platform side. This is how it looks like in the citizen facing UI. Regarding, we started by discussing a little bit about the different audiences and user groups. The idea here is that this overview description below the image is something that is targeted for basically anyone. So it should be written in a language that is really understandable by like with any kind of background, with anyone who might be interacting with this service or is interested about this service. So and in our white paper we say that like this is really the most difficult part of the thing, because like putting information in an understandable way is often a challenging task, but it's clear what is the target for this one to make it really approachable for anyone. Also, regarding this information, what is relevant for the wide audiences, we have the contact information. So these are the people, these are the units or departments who are responsible, and everyone should know who to contact if I have some comments or feedback regarding how these systems work. So either you can reach out to Kaija Kossila as a person who is a contact person for this one through this email or by phone. We also know that there is a Oulu-based vendor, Smartific, who has been developing this specific chatbot. And then based on my interest, I can go much deeper by going through the different data sets. The idea is that if it is an open data set, we have links to the data set from here. If it's not open, then we describe it in a similar way, but then it's not possible to link to those. In the data processing, which is, I would say, the most technical part of this whole description, we have the model architecture section. We also have performance related section if it's basically if it has been possible to or filled in by the the teams. So whatever is on the platform on those will be published here. Here we are focusing on the model architecture and describing it in a verbal manner, and then having an architecture picture which basically describes a little bit in more detail how are different steps in the algorithm or the data processing flow happening, what kind of models are being used, and so forth. So and then for public authorities, the even coming from the legal perspective, there is expectation and need for every government organization to actively promote equality in their services and ways of or activities. So non-discrimination is also very important from that perspective, and we wanted to bring it as its own sort of header and section to nudge the teams within the cities to actually think about this properly and have it very clear how non-discrimination, equality, and how bias, for example, is as a concept addressed in this context and so forth. We could discuss the whole day about the different sections and sort of rationale behind those. So now I will just check if we have any questions. I saw one use case of Amsterdam. There was a link to their GitHub repo. So that's very good, and I think it's really good for you to also compare and see how the system have been described in these different two different cases. And I would say one of the major differences here is that all of the Helsinki systems we have there are developed and they are IP of third-party vendors. So and that's something that is definitely something that for those cases we don't have open source code available, because those are owned by third parties. For Amsterdam, there are some cases where the Amsterdam's own AI teams have been developing those, and many of those are actually public as well. So in those cases, they have been able to publish also the source code of the system. But this is this is interesting to see how this evolve and how do we manage this the level of sort of publicity or openness in different kinds of contexts. But the underlying platform also supports this, or there is this possibility to link, and we are asking that information if there is a link to open source code or open data. Those are all sort of as an opportunity for teams to have, but not always possible. Then one very quick small demo, because this is I'm really excited about this one, just as a little bit thought provoker, or hoping that you see where we are going with this one. So putting all the data on the register itself by the AI teams of the city or government organization. Then the public AI registers have been now the first means of how to provide it through this centralized one place. But that's where the world is going from my perspective. I see that the transparency cannot only happen through one centralized website. We also need to bring transparency into the services, the algorithmic services, into the context of where these services are being used. And this is what we are now actually demoing. And sorry for the language, the bot is only working in Finnish, so I'm talking with the bot in Finnish, but hopefully you will get the idea when I can you see the screen right now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So let's ask from this parking bot that we were like looking into from these both perspectives. I was asking, who are you from this bot? And this is something what I really hope to see in future. Like we should be able to ask from any bot in the world that who are you, and different questions regarding the transparency. And what happens here is basically that the same information that was like filled in the platform, in the register by the city teams, can be now accessed through this chatbot. So we are getting answers like this overview in a little bit different format through this chat. And let's ask Metadata. What data are you using? Let's see if it understands. So then we go into these data sets, we are calling this transparency snippets, and it's providing transparency snippet for the data set. So coming from the same source of information that was filled by the team. And one more, I got some wrong information from you. So what do I do? So it will provide you some guide on how do you say this, Pasi? How to do claims or create claims regarding this bot giving wrong information, and it's like linking to the official service there. So this is just to give an idea that when we work in order to have all the right information in place, it is possible then as a next step then to actually access that information, whether it's like through the centralized site or then within the services, and that's the beauty of having the information handled in this one register. Any questions at this point? Go on, Pasi.
You were saying that in Finland we have this register in 3 languages. We have it in Finnish and Swedish and also English. And now Amsterdam made it also Dutch. These all the languages you are providing, or will be there more in the future?
Yeah, so I think that's really an important point then. First of all, why do we need all of these languages when we are actually focusing on providing people who are impacted by these systems information and involving them? It's super important to provide that with their own language. So we want to participate everyone for this one. So languages and localization is super important. We have made it pretty nicely so that actually when we are onboarding, our target is to have like basically first all European languages and then going forward from there. So how it happens in practice is that we have a translation file, and basically whenever having a new customer coming from a new area where they are speaking languages that we don't support at the moment, we together with our customers, we basically work together like few hours to translate all those key terms that are part of our translation file, and basically it's a few hours work that can be done by anyone who is a native speaker in that language. And when that is done, that will basically make it possible so that in the platform we can, let's have a look at this Swedish version. So we are able to document this information and get the guidance for that specific new language, and basically cities can then do a choice like in which language they want to describe it, and that will basically then realized here as a language version of the site, which is then calling the specific languages. So yes, it's really important. It's not the big job, but it's super important, and that's where we are looking to collaborate with customers.
Yeah, I think we could go now a little bit further in our agenda. Yep. We have like 10 minutes time to discuss with you. And if someone have now any questions at all, we can answer those.
Yes.
And what about, Meeri, how do you plan to make sure that the data model meets the developing regulative expectations in the future?
Yeah. That's a continuous work that we need to do. We have been basically building this based on a lot of desktop research on different regulations and policy papers, like discussing about good transparency and so forth. Also, expert interviews in this space have been super important. So we're very confident regarding what is the model at the moment, but while this is like very much developing space, we also recognize that that needs to be continuous work that we do over time, and that's the promise that like by using this our register, we make it tangible and easy for you also to follow how the space, this market and requirements, expectations for government agencies are developing. So that's really what is our job to make sure that we are all the time up to date what is happening in the regulative space, and also that we are in line with the other important points of views on this one. Obviously, we do it very closely in collaboration with our customers. So for example, on the privacy side, we have been discussing a lot with the privacy lawyers of our customers and so forth. So it's a community effort, but that's like critical for keeping the systems and registers up to date and meaningful.
I put chat one question you can answer for us. And there's also one question for us from Mildo. If a government has a contract with a business firm who develops the software for the government, is it still possible to publish the algorithm?
Yeah, so it depends, obviously. Like this is something that that for now we haven't come across problems with the Helsinki vendors. Actually, they have been like very collaborative on this one, and happy to see something like this happening. And obviously, it's also an opportunity for these vendors to be visible, in the context of their customers. So, but at the same time, obviously, like the deeper we go and closer we go in our requirements towards, for example, publishing the source code, it's something that is absolutely critical to be discussed in the contracting phase. I think both Amsterdam and Helsinki have been already preparing for this one through the contract terms for AI or algorithmic systems and projects where the cities are buying or sourcing algorithms from third parties. So in that moment, when the contract is done, there needs to be a requirement for the level of transparency that the city needs to, wants to and needs to be meeting with regards to how the system works. So to summarize, so far no problems with regards to that one, but obviously I think that needs to be properly managed through the contracts. And I think many of the vendors already recognize that by selling and working with government agencies, these expectations are coming, and they need to be able to meet those expectations.
Thanks, thank you, Meeri. And we could discuss very shortly about the citizen participation, because this AI register is one way to be transparent towards the citizens. And also we would like them to understand how we are using AI, but also we would like to have discussion with them is this correct way to use AI, and how you would like to be a part of this development. And that is one way to use this register in the future as well. And how you see it's possible in practice way.
Yeah, so I think that's super important, and that's like big opportunity with regards to this one. So transparency is not the target as itself. It's a means for improving these systems, getting the citizen trust towards like how those are being used, and like many very practical things. So I think this is really something that where we need to dive in further. At the moment, just like as a small teaser regarding this one, we are having these buttons here to like to ask regarding the usefulness of information. You can, and I encourage to think about that you could actually have these kind of buttons with any kind of question that you are interested in with regards to this system. So the important is that there always needs to be a feedback channel back to the AI teams, and feedback channel for people to actually tell what do they think about this one. So in this first release, we have those buttons over there for each of the systems, and then we have a specific survey that we really hope that all of you also, when you go there, like give that few minutes time for us to like by answering this survey, and we will have a little bit deeper or like more questions around what do you think about these systems and the AI register itself. So at the moment the feedback is through these two different means, but going forward it's unlimited opportunities to actually like innovate how we want to ask feedback in the context of each of those systems, and in which phase of the development. So I really welcome that kind of courage from the city teams to actually sort of like go public with when they are only in the development phase, or like thinking that this is something that we would like to put together and use in this area. What do you think? And sort of like invite feedback and participation already when they are developing it. So that's the opportunity what requires a little bit courage to go there, like when things are not ready, but still it's a wonderful opportunity to get it done in a way that has already from the beginning the citizen participation.
Thank you, Meeri. And now I think we have to wrap up this session.
Yes. Very good. First of all, thanks everyone for joining. It was a pleasure to go through this and like be able to show in practice. Let's see, Pasi, can we share the white paper over here?
I think we can. Yes, and I can also.
Can you share it? How to do that? So I would just like.
I have a link to our website where it is. You can get it from.
Okay. Very good. So I will just like show this. If you put that over there, there is.
Well, it's not actually the best link.
Yeah. So I have a link link to our site here as well. I just like first quickly want to, if there are any cities who would like to do the same as Amsterdam and Helsinki has been doing, we are now inviting more cities to our beta community. So and actually providing free access for those who want to join the community and co-develop this together with us. So to start working on our platform for the AI teams for free. So get in touch with me via these channels if you're interested. And then basically here are the links, and like the white paper can be downloaded as a PDF by going to this address that you can see here, Saidots.ai/customers, and there is like first button is download white paper. So that's where you can access that one. And if you are interested to join our beta community or get in touch, we have a form at there in that site as well. So yeah, really looking forward to work with you and take this to more languages and see more cities deploy the great like transparency and AI registers in a similar manner as Helsinki and Amsterdam have been now doing. Thank you, Pasi, for joining me in this session. So yeah. Really, I hope you have all enjoyed this discussion and have a great afternoon and rest of the week.
I thank you as well. It was a pleasure. Thank you all.
Thank you. I was trying to see if I could share the PDF here, but I guess that's not possible.
Yeah, I put the link there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's there. Very good. Okay. Pasi, do you know, do they sort of like fly us to other sessions, or like do we just like leave?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave now from this session. So maybe that's when we
Okay,
go away.
maybe we just wrap this up. All right. Thanks
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.